Hey everyone, it's been a while since my last upload, and that's because I've been testing and reviewing the PTM-10 Stereo Wireless IEM monitor system from Phenyx Pro, which I can say is a much better product, has stable connection, and in my opinion, looks better compared to my X2Ga 2080 wireless system, which you can check out the review for that in the link below. I actually purchased this way back in January 2024, and this whole time I've been using it and testing it out in the field, and I really wanted to spend a lot of time using this unit as much as I could before uploading a review. So here we are. The PTM-10 is one of the many products you can find from the Phenyx Pro website, such as wireless mics, mixers and cables, wireless systems for guitar and bass, drum mics, antenna systems, in-ear monitor systems, cases, and a bunch of accessories for their products and rack mounts. Phenyx Pro is one of those hidden, not so well known companies that I would say makes mid-tier pro audio products if comparing them to the likes of Shure and Sennheiser. They're always actively engaged on social media and constantly pushing updates, new product releases with a huge focus on involving the consumer. I remember not so long ago they sent out surveys to the consumer asking them things like, what do you want to see in our next in-ear monitor system? Or what features would you like to see in a rack mount system? Phenyx Pro has a couple of in-ear monitor systems to choose from, and the one I purchased was the PTM-10, which is a single-channel stereo monitoring system available in 500 or 900 MHz frequency range and a few power supply options depending on your country. This unit is available to purchase from their website and comes with one transmitter with either 1, 2, 3, or 4 body pack receivers. The one I purchased came with 3 body pack receivers in the 500 MHz range with an Australian power supply which also works in New Zealand, all for around $380 US. And depending on which pack you get, they all come with a carry case and some accessories to match. The dispatch and delivery was surprisingly quick considering I live in New Zealand and only took around 2 to 3 weeks to arrive. Now, even though the PTM-11, 22, and 33 are their newer models, the reason why I chose the PTM-10 was mainly because of the left and right XLR and jack combo input sockets on the back, which gives me more flexibility in my cable setups, whereas something like the PTM-11 only gives you jack inputs. When my package arrived, I noticed the box only showed an image of the transmitter and 2 receivers, even though I ordered 3 receivers, and the back of the box had a spec sheet summary but did not specify if I was getting 3 receivers. After opening the box, you're greeted with a hard plastic protective carry case with the contents inside, and I'm so glad Phenyx Pro provides you with a carry case instead of charging a premium for one, unlike my last in-ear monitor system from X2Ga that did not come with any protective carry case. It's not the strongest carry case, but it's better than none. There is some flex to the hard plastic casing, but seems sturdy enough to keep the contents safe unless you drop the whole thing. Inside the case, you'll find a manual, a Phenyx Pro sticker, some accessories and rack mounting brackets, which we'll look at later, the transmitter antenna, a power supply, and a set of earphones. Always a nice complimentary addition to get you started, even though they sound terrible. And to my surprise, yes, they did actually include 3 body pack receivers, even though the box only showed a picture of 2. I'm surprised that they managed to fit all of this into the carry case, but unfortunately I can see this caused some bending in the antenna of the body packs. I can't imagine how the 4 body pack option would be able to fit in here, especially if it risks damaging the antenna. Finally, we have the transmitter itself looking very clean and sleek, surrounded by some soft internal padding and protection, all in a nice handy carry case. Let's take a look at the body packs. The tight packaging of the contents caused the antenna to bend, and upon inspection, the antenna is thinner than I expected, so it's no wonder they're bent out of shape, and I am a bit worried these could be easily snapped or broken, especially if it was caught between the lids of a case. Thankfully, the antenna can be reshaped reasonably straight again. The body packs are made from an all-plastic casing, which does concern me if these were ever dropped, and they do feel kinda cheap and easily breakable. If this is a worry or concern, I'd recommend getting a soft carry pouch that can also be attached to your belt or guitar strap. I picked mine up from Amazon, but there are plenty to choose from online. The receivers take two AA batteries, which are hidden under the front cover, and the back has a clip for you to attach to your pocket or belt if not using a protective carry pouch. On top we have the volume control, power button, and earphone socket. When the unit is on, the display is a very bright looking green, kinda reminds me of the Pip-Boy from Fallout. And the display will turn off after a few seconds to save power, unless you press one of the buttons again to view the display. The transmitter antenna was also bent when I received it. Kind of concerning and annoying to see this, and I couldn't rebend it back into shape. The antenna twists and locks into place on the back of the transmitter, and is powered by a 12 to 18 volt 300 mA center positive power supply, which is included. The transmitter supports both mono and stereo setups using the combo, XLR, and jack inputs. There is also a 0 or -12 dB pad switch in case the signal is too hot. On the side, there are removable screws which you can attach the included mounting brackets if you wanted to have this unit mounted in a rack or road case. The front has a stereo headphone jack output and a volume knob, so you could actually set up a secondary monitor for someone, but they would be tethered by a headphone cable. There's a large volume knob for adjustments to the transmitter output, 3 additional buttons for selecting modes and frequencies, a power button, and a small infrared sensor to sync up the transmitter to the body packs. The included accessories came with 3 pairs of earphones and ear tip sizes, a stereo mini jack to 1/4-inch jack adapter, some plastic hole coverings, rubber feet to go under the transmitter, additional screws, and an antenna extension cable for when it's fixed and mounted in a rack unit or road case. Let's look at some of the key features. The documentation says that there is up to 93% separation in stereo mode. What this means is that if I pan my left signal hard to the left and the right signal hard to the right, I will still get a tiny bit of noise bleed from the opposite sides. I can confirm this does happen, but in a live setting or practice, it was barely noticeable. So it's not true stereo, but you can still produce the stereo experience, and this shouldn't be an issue at all. Of course, you don't always have to use stereo. In fact, you can switch to mono mode, which is what I mainly use. There is an estimated range of up to 160 feet, or 50 meters, in a clear line of sight, although I tested this out around a 2-story house in multiple rooms, going outside and walking as far as I could, and still had a stable connection. One feature that isn't so clear is the fact that the manual says to plug into the left input for mono operation. Yet, on the back of the transmitter, it has been labeled the right input for mono. Traditionally, it's always been the left side for mono, so I'm wondering, how did Phenyx Pro get this wrong? Aside from the stereo and mono features, the PTM-10 has a large group of frequencies to choose from, and the body packs also allow you to adjust the balance of the left and right signal going into your earphones, especially when running in stereo mode. There is an EQ function on the body packs to boost some frequencies, which I think is suitable for vocalists and guitarists, as well as a limiter function to help prevent distortion from an overloaded signal. And lastly, there's a lock function on the body packs to stop any accidental changes to your settings. I use the PTM-10 many times in a practice and live setting in both mono and stereo modes, and place the transmitter on opposite sides of the stage as well as directly beside me, and I never lost signal. The audio signal I received in my earphones is quite clear with sufficient amount of volume control, and even though there's an EQ function on the unit, I really felt like I didn't have to use it. When there's no audio being played and the volume is up about halfway, there is a high-pitched hiss, but once you start playing live and have audio coming through, it's not even noticeable or a concern, even at loud volumes. I also tried the limiter function, the balance settings, and lock feature, and all of them worked very well with no issues. One thing that was a bit frustrating was syncing the body packs to the transmitter using the infrared feature on them. Unlike my X2Ga system, where you can cycle through radio frequencies on both the transmitter and receivers by pressing buttons, the Phenyx Pro PTM-10 only allows you to cycle through radio frequencies on the transmitter, and then you have to hold the body pack up to the transmitter in order to match the frequencies between them. It took me several attempts, as I couldn't quite find the right angle and position to hold the body packs up to the transmitter to complete the sync. Eventually I got there after several attempts, but to me this is annoying and time consuming, especially if I had to do this at a gig mid-performance to swap out packs or for whatever reason that might be. Nevertheless, it's not a huge issue if you prep this before the show. Personally, I like the ability to quickly change settings on the fly in a simple manner. But to be fair, I do think Phenyx Pro was trying to accomplish this quick and simple approach with the sync feature, if only it worked consistently. My overall thoughts is that this is an excellent choice for anyone looking to buy their first in-ear monitor wireless system, or even upgrade from a cheaper one like I did with my X2Ga RW2080. But I should note, I still use my X2Ga system for other gigs and projects. There are a few things I wasn't happy about the PTM-10, like the way it was packaged, which bent some of the antennas, and how the body pack antennas are actually quite thin. The infrared sync function is a straightforward idea, but only if it had worked with 1 or 2 attempts. I would have liked a metal casing on the body packs instead of a plastic one, but I solved this issue just by using a soft carry pouch. Aside from those issues, my preferred wireless in-ear monitor system is now the Phenyx Pro PTM-10, mainly because of the much cleaner audio quality, the stable and uninterrupted signal, the choice of having both stereo or mono, the balance, EQ, limiter and lock features, the combo XLR and jack inputs, and the bright green displays. And just a reminder, the PTM-10 only has a 93% separation from the left and right. So again, it's not true stereo, but it does present a very convincing stereo mode that won't disappoint. Lastly, the range on this thing has been great for so many gigs in bars, clubs, and medium to large size stages. Just be sure to place the transmitter within line of sight and close enough for your needs.